More layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy?
Because of how he was making it look like he'll call out somebody else that's like. But now that I see that, I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality.
Now, he called out Canelo in the ring. Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. I'll be super down.
After his fight against Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis surprised fans in the press conference by saying he wants to fight Jake Paul next. This was unexpected because Davis had previously dismissed Paul, and now his call-out has sparked debate.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here.
I ain't gonna do him.
He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Jake Paul has responded to Gervonta Davis, calling him out, showing both respect and confidence in his abilities. In a tweet, Paul acknowledged Davis's skills and presence in boxing, writing that Gervonta has his respect inside the ring as one of the top 5 in the world right now. He also praised Davis for standing on his own and representing America. However, Paul made it clear that he believes his size advantage would be too much for Davis, saying he would destroy him in the ring. His response was a mix of admiration and self-assurance, fueling more speculation about a possible fight between them. Davis, a dominant force in the lightweight division, would be at a major size disadvantage against Paul, who competes at cruiserweight. Despite this, fans are interested in seeing if the fight could happen, and now it's up to Davis to respond to Paul's latest comments. Davis calling out Jake Paul is surprising, considering he previously dismissed the idea of ever fighting him. In past interviews, Davis laughed off the possibility, calling Paul a clown and saying he wouldn't even consider it. But now his stance has changed, and he seems open to making the fight happen. This unexpected shift has fans talking. Some think Davis is after a big payday, while others believe he wants to shut Paul down for good. Meanwhile, Paul has been looking for fights with top-level opponents, and Davis adding his name to the mix only makes things more interesting. However, the big question is weight. Davis would be giving up serious size against the much bigger Paul. Whether this is just talk or the start of real negotiations is unclear, but with both fighters exchanging words, the boxing world is watching closely to see if this turns into a real fight.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough for you
Yeah, would you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career, I can't do that right now.
Jake Paul has made it clear that he's open to fighting Gervonta Davis, saying he would be super down for the matchup. Paul, who has been targeting big-name opponents, seems confident in his chances against the smaller but highly skilled Davis. While fans debate whether this fight makes sense, Paul's team has stepped in to share their opinion. According to them, it's not Jake who needs this fight, it's Davis. They believe that even though Davis is an elite boxer, fighting Paul would give him more mainstream attention and financial gain than any fight he could get on his own. This statement has caused controversy, with Davis supporters arguing that the undefeated boxing champion doesn't need Paul to stay relevant. However, there's no denying the buzz that comes with a fight against Paul. He has drawn huge pay-per-view numbers and built a fan base beyond traditional boxing audiences. Now that both sides are talking about the fight, the big question is whether negotiations will actually happen. Davis once dismissed Paul as a clown, but now that he's calling him out, the possibility of this fight feels more real than ever. Fans are waiting to see if this turns into a blockbuster showdown.
Now, he called out Canelo in the ring. Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. I'll be super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
is there a height limit in boxing?
Tank Davis has been vocal about his views on fighters taking big money offers to fight in Saudi Arabia, saying, "It's like selling their souls." He believes the growing trend of big boxing matches in the Middle East is putting money over the sport's integrity. However, not everyone agrees with him. Critics argue that boxing has always been about money and that new markets like Saudi Arabia can help grow the sport worldwide. Davis's comments add to the ongoing debate about balancing financial opportunities with keeping boxing's core values. His cautious approach shows that he cares about the sport's integrity, even when faced with huge financial offers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Chen.
Where do you think you'd be without Calvin? Thanks. Life in general. So.
I'm from the inner city. I was outside, like, you know what I mean? that answers your question. I don't want to say I was like, you know.
Yeah,
but,
blessing,
you know.
How do you feel about the state of American boxing? Do you feel like you're keeping it afloat since Canelo's doing 3 out of 4 fights in Saudi Arabia? Right?
He fighting over there?
3 out of the 4, yeah.
He got a fight over there?
Yeah, 3 of the 4 is.
I thought they be having fights here too.
Well, he's putting on fights here, but Canelo is
he got a fight over there.
He got a fight over there. Then he comes back with Crawford, and then 2 next year over there.
So he fighting at Crawford here?
Yeah.
So
that's not bad.
Alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, they've been saying like I don't want what's the name, but they've been saying like they've been getting messed up over there, bro. Like everything is different. Like they be getting sick, and not only one fighter. Like they've been numerous fighters that been getting sick over there. So I don't know, bro. And you see how the guy was? He looked at the scorecard.
Turkey hopped up and he see the score.
But when I said it, it was like.
I know, I'm trying
the
to
way how he was talking, he was like, yeah, Devin, my man, like, you know what I mean? We want to get Tank over here and fight. Man, I already know what y'all gonna do. Like,
Jake Paul was defending you. He put a tweet saying, like, this is what Tank is talking about.
See?
Yeah.
But every time I say something, it's like I'm hating because I'm going against the grain. I mean, not even going against the grain. I'm letting not, you know.
So to that point, do you feel like a responsibility to the sport in America? I know you're thinking about retirement, but it's like things are going rough in the States. Everything's going over there.
Yeah, but it's like people selling that stuff. Like, you know, even the picture where everybody was in the room, that shit look like some devil shit.
Some cult, right?
Yeah.
Fans are calling out Gervonta Davis for hypocrisy after he once criticized fighters for selling their souls for big money fights, but is now open to facing Jake Paul. A Twitter user, Edwin, summed up the backlash by tweeting, "Jake Paul? Yeah, Tank was ready to sell his soul." Many believe that Davis, who previously called Paul a clown, is now chasing the same financial opportunities he once criticized. Some defend him, saying it's just a business move, while others argue he is contradicting himself. Meanwhile, Jake Paul reacted to Davis's fight against Lamont Roach with both praise and criticism. He admitted it was a good fight, but said Davis needed to create more action, claiming it felt like a sparring session. Paul also said this wasn't the Gervonta Davis he knew, showing disappointment in his performance. With their ongoing back and forth, Paul's comments add more fuel to their potential rivalry, making fans wonder if Davis will respond with a stronger performance next time.
Man, he got lucky as a draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, he gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. Oh my God. But, God damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
Tank Davis initially disliked how Jake Paul entered boxing, believing he was making a joke out of the sport by calling out opponents in a way that didn't seem serious. Davis saw Paul as a clown who used boxing more for entertainment rather than respecting it as a real craft. Many traditional boxing fans felt the same, viewing Paul's rise as just a spectacle. However, Davis's opinion has slightly changed. While he still thinks Paul is a clown in how he promotes himself, he now respects his commitment to the sport. Davis admits that Paul is putting in real work in the gym and trying to improve as a boxer instead of just chasing hype. This change in perspective shows that Davis at least sees Paul as someone who is serious about training and getting better.
What do you think about the Logan Pauls, the Jake Pauls, and the other guys like Ochocinco fighting and what they bring to the world of boxing? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing for boxing?
You know, I feel as though at first I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming in.
Why is that?
Because of how he was making it look like he'll call out somebody else that's like. But now that I see that I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. He's still a clown.
That's how he gets paid. Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Far as him like content like in the gym, I feel like I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer.
Okay, but real talk, if he actually faces a real boxer, which we haven't seen yet, you're shaking your head. But real talk for you, Tank, if he gets his ass in the ring with a real boxer, what's gonna happen?
I mean, if they pick his fight right, I think that he's decent.
Yeah,
like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way. If he's continuing to do like stay in the gym,
yeah,
like you say, like you get up in the morning, like he's a boxer. You know what I mean? He's in the gym. So
is he better than you thought he'd be?
Yeah.
Despite this, Davis remains unsure about Paul's true boxing skills. He believes Paul hasn't faced a real boxer yet, and that his success comes from carefully chosen opponents. Davis thinks Paul can keep winning if he picks the right fights, but doubts he would last against a top-level boxer. While Davis respects Paul's work ethic and improvement, he doesn't see him as a real threat in the sport just yet. He admits Paul is getting better, but stops short of calling him good, only saying he's on the right path if he keeps training seriously. This adds to the ongoing debate about whether Paul is a legitimate boxer or just benefiting from smart matchmaking. Davis calling out Paul may also be influenced by the excitement around Paul's upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, which will stream on Netflix. The event has created huge buzz, showing how boxing is becoming a mix of sports and entertainment, with streaming platforms investing in big fights. Davis might see a chance to reach a bigger audience and earn more money, as Paul's ability to bring in mainstream attention has changed how boxing works. His call-out suggests he understands how the sport is shifting and wants to take advantage of the spotlight.
Netflix, I'm trying to watch it on my computer, TV. Like, I'm doing everything for the Tyson fight. And y'all knew, Netflix, you knew that there was going to be a lot of people on your platform watching this. That's what you promoted. That's what you wanted. And you failed not only people in America, all over the world that wanted to see this fight. Like, I'm going to bed now. It's like not even worth it. The women, I don't even know if they're on Fight right now because I don't even know where they're at. But this is ridiculous, Netflix. Y'all owe everybody a bunch of money. Not only the fighters, the subscribers.
Jake Paul's impact on boxing goes beyond his performances in the ring. He has mastered promotion, using his social media influence and business skills to create big opportunities for himself and other fighters. Unlike traditional boxers who rely on promoters, Paul has built his own platform, drawing global attention to his events. One of his biggest strengths is reaching audiences outside boxing's usual fan base by using social media, working with big brands, and making deals with platforms like Netflix. His upcoming fight with Mike Tyson on Netflix is a perfect example of how he is changing the game and bringing boxing to a wider audience. Even experienced boxers and industry insiders recognize his ability to fill arenas and generate huge financial success. While some purists see him as just a social media star, his business moves cannot be ignored. Whether fans love or hate him, Paul's influence on boxing is undeniable, proving that storytelling, hype, and accessibility are just as important as skill inside the ring.
Jake Paul is unequivocally the most successful fighter in history 4 years in. No one comes close. No one. You couldn't list one that comes close, including Brock Lesnar if you include his WWE career. 4 years in terms of what he's done in terms of box office, pay-per-view, impact, helping other boxers, because he had platform, he had awareness, and he's got the focus and discipline to drive with it.
Gervonta Davis previously said he planned to retire by the end of the year, claiming he was bored with boxing. However, his recent call-outs of multiple fighters, including Jake Paul, have left fans questioning his real intentions. If he truly plans to leave, why is he still looking for new fights? Some believe he is reconsidering retirement, while others think he just wants big money bouts before stepping away. His mixed signals have sparked debate on whether he is really losing passion for boxing or simply setting up high-profile fights to make a major impact before he walks away.
Gervonta Davis is not a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter right now. He's arguably not even in the top 10 pound-for-pound right now. Despite how cool this picture is, it does not get him into the pound-for-pound list. Even though we could say that he could probably beat everyone in the lightweight division, even though I think he loses to Shakur, he hasn't done it, and he probably isn't going to do it. But what would it take for him to get to the #1 pound-for-pound spot? Let's go over what he would have to do to reach #1. Well, first off, he'd obviously have to go undisputed in the lightweight division. And even though that would be great, I think that only cracks him like #4. Because the only one in the top 10 pound for pound in the lightweight division is maybe Shakur. But realistically, he's gonna have to do more than just go undisputed in the lightweight division. So obviously, he'd have to go up to 140 because there's no way he's making 130. And then he'd have to beat a dude like Teofimo, and he'd probably have to beat Devin Haney as well. And I think that could probably get him the #1 spot. But yeah, we can sit here and say Tank is one of the best pound for pound fighters right now, which I think he's one of the most talented, and I think he could do most of what I said. However, hypotheticals aren't going to work with pound for pound listing.
Gervonta Davis calling out Jake Paul has confused many fans, especially after he announced plans to retire. Twitter user Tate reacted by tweeting, "Thought he was retiring," reflecting the doubts of many who question Davis's true intentions. If he is serious about leaving boxing, why is he chasing fights? Some think he just wants a big payday before stepping away, while others believe he may not be ready to retire after all. His mixed messages have sparked debate, leaving fans unsure if this is a real challenge or just a strategic move for attention. Meanwhile, Jake Paul responded calmly, showing respect for Davis's skills. "He's a great fighter, and he surprised me a couple of times," Paul admitted, acknowledging Davis's talent despite their differences in personality and approach.
Your thoughts on Tank Davis?
Man, he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He surprised me a couple of times. We've had some word exchanges.
Yes.
But it's all for fun. I hope this fight with Ryan Garcia happens.
Who you leaning on?
It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. You know, Gervonta hasn't shown the ability to win a lot of rounds against taller fighters. And then he relies on the knockout in the later rounds, which has worked for him. But if Ryan could avoid that, I think it'll be his power and speed will be and range will be a problem for Gervonta. But if Ryan gets caught, we've seen what Luke Campbell did.
Yeah.
And Gervonta is obviously a way bigger puncher than Luke. So it's really, in my eyes, the fight could go either way.
Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury shared his thoughts on the Paul-Davis debate, recognizing Gervonta Davis as the better boxer, but praising Jake Paul's promotional skills. Fury acknowledged Paul's ability to bring massive attention to fights, saying that while Davis has elite talent, Paul's business skills are changing how boxing reaches mainstream audiences.
A layman would say, "Oh, Tank Davis is better." But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down. You know what I mean?
Surprisingly, Gervonta Davis isn't ranked among the top 10 pound-for-pound lightweight fighters, which has shocked many fans. This has sparked debates about his true position in the sport and whether fighting Jake Paul would boost his career or just be a spectacle. Some see it as a big opportunity, while others think it's a distraction from more important fights in his division.
Tank is just done with boxing. He does not enjoy it anymore. It's very clear that he just does not want to box anymore, and that's okay. He went into more detail about why he wants to retire after 2025, and it basically just comes down to he's tired of fighting, he's tired of getting punched in the face, he's not worried about his legacy. He said that he has his legacy in his city, and that's all he's worried about. He did also say that he wants to go to therapy, and he feels like if he goes to therapy now while he's boxing, he won't have that same fire inside of him, and he won't even be able to mentally get prepared for a fight. He also brought up his kids a lot, says he wants to be a lot softer for his daughters. He's got his son now, so he wants to be there for his son and be a good dad and not be getting beat up in the gym all the time. So honestly, I gotta respect it. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just worry about people's mental when they're at their lowest. You know, why do we have to see Tank lose to worry about his mental? Because Sonny Edwards just retired because of his mental, but he was at his lowest. So I don't think we have to see Tank get there to care about his mental. So if he wants to go and he wants to get his last 2-3 fights in, okay, great. Do that. And then go take care of yourself. Because he is young. And I think it's becoming more of a trend to retire when you're like 30, 31. Because Sonny Edwards, 28. Gervonta is going to retire at like 31, 32. And then even Jesse Bam Rodriguez says by the time he's 30, he doesn't really want to be in the sport anymore. But I think this does have a lot to do with them getting into the sport so young when you're doing it from like the age of 12 or even sometimes younger for Tank, I believe he was younger. So when you've been doing it for that long, getting beat up for that long, I mean, it takes a toll on you. You just don't want to do it anymore. So I gotta respect it.
All right, that's all for today. What do you think about everything we just uncovered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading what you all have to say. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates like this. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest stories. Boxing Glory, signing off. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next one.